The attraction on the harbor, the World America, that I think is not getting enough attention, it is absurdly cool and tons of fun, is the Adventure Trail High Ropes course. And you can book your turn using the app or the displays around the ship for free. Like many of the adventurous activities available up on the harbor, you will have to go to the kiosk, fill out a waiver, and get a wristband before you can book it in the app. Do you also find it reassuring seeing people coming off of the Adventure Trail and being unhooked, as opposed to being like loaded on a gurney and wheeled into an ambulance? They made it off safely. That should maybe make you feel a little bit better. You're already hooked in at this point. You're wearing a harness. You have this tether that I have to keep reaching up and moving. There, oh, I got to stop, let some people go in front of me. You see, as we move around, you got to put your hand up there and slide your tether into the appropriate track. There's other traffic up here as other cruisers are coming and going, and they're making their way around the Adventure Trail as well. You can see I'm slowly making my way across the first one.
How you doing?
I'm gonna do the easy parts.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start with the easy part.
Keep in mind, neither one of us love heights.
This is a really neat system.
I know.
Look at you go. All right.
It's at this point that I realized following Mrs. Gear Report really wasn't helpful, because I was kind of pressuring her to go faster than she wanted. So I made a left turn and went across this rope bridge. This has a single cable at the bottom that I'm walking on and using these vertical ropes to pull myself across. One of the things I really love about this ropes course is there are so many different directions you can go. If someone's going a little bit slower or faster, they can just take a different path. You can take your time getting across the section you're working on. Oh, look at that. That guy is hanging from the bar and going all the way across. There are a couple things like that. I promise you, I'm not flipping the camera over so you can inspect my nose hairs, okay? I wanted to give you a view of how this track system works up there, and maybe we'll look at it again in more detail later, but you can see that the metal bars that connect each section up above your head that your tether rides in. So as you move all around the apparatus, your tether can always be in the track that's right above your head to support you. All right, it's really going well, but here, why don't I tip the camera up so you can see a better view of the track. I know it's upside down, but you can see how your tether that hooks to your harness rides in that track. I think that's a little better view than we had before. And here I've adjusted the camera down so you can see where my feet are landing a little better. So let's see, as we move around, where shall I go next? Mrs. Gear Report is still having a great adventure up there, and you can see there are people literally that guy, okay, we got to talk about what he's doing right there. That track that the guy just went by hanging on goes over the promenade, so it's literally out to the left over that gap that goes from, that's 20 down there, deck 20, all the way down to deck 8. So that's 12 plus we're another 10 feet or so up. Well, more than, it's got to be more, it's got to be 15, 20 feet above that. So it's really high, and it made me nervous walking across that platform. Now I'm going to go across this. Well, I was afraid that these little round platforms would tip to one side or the other, that they'd be wobbly, but they're not. They're very rigidly attached, and you can see that tether keeps getting in front of the camera, so you are always attached to your harness. And now as I'm approaching an intersection, you can see this happens sometimes. What do you do when multiple people are coming to that same intersection together? Well, I paused and let her figure out where she was going. She was going to head off straight ahead for her to my right. So I just let her go past. And now look at this. You could actually see people on the cliffhanger from here, swinging out over the ocean. We got a video on the cliffhanger as well. Please go check that one out. You can see this one I'm about to step across has 2 parallel wires that I'm walking across, and then some horizontal rope on the left and right that it's kind of like a suspension bridge, but everything wiggles around when you're walking. It makes it more difficult than it looks, trust me. Now let's jump forward to another section that actually is very difficult to film the way I had the camera secured to my harness, because you can't hold, they won't let you hold a camera separately. This is me on that track going over that gap over the promenade, and sliding down to where now I can get up on the platform. Maybe I can find some footage to show you someone else doing that as well. Once you get up there, you got to pull your tether forward and get to the next intersection. Look, Mon, no hands. Yeah, I thought it'd be neat to clip the camera onto the framework instead of having it clipped to my harness. So let you see what it looks like when I came across there. I think that's probably enough for this level. Let's go up to the next level. What you may notice up here is we are a lot higher over that harbor deck, like we're way up there. And you can see way out off of the ship a whole lot further from up here. Notice you get a great view of all 3 water slides from up here. Okay, I skipped a bunch of just randomly going around on the upper level because functionally it looks the same as the lower level. Here you see a couple things. Number one, there's shade up above, which is very helpful, except that the guy was just telling me it's raining, so everyone has to go down. Once it starts raining up here on that upper deck and the different things get slick, they make everyone go down. You see people lining up to go down the stairs over there. As soon as I can get across here and down, then I'll show you basically, how we disconnect at the end. And that's it. We had hoped, the wife and I both hoped we could come back and do this again. I really wanted to spend some more time and do everything up on the top level because I didn't. And she didn't make it to the top level at all.
It's raining, so we've got to go down. You can see the rain. There we go.
So unfortunately, we just got too busy. There's so much to do on this ship that we didn't make it back up there to the top. But I guess it gives us a reason to go back on the World America at some point, right? Here we have a really good look at how that track system works again, where the tether is in that track on the top, and I'm going around all the posts. Like, you get to the post and you wonder, like, how do you stay tethered? Well, you just go around the channel that goes all the way around the post. So now look at the platform across ahead of me. I'm walking across, but they're already backed up, and there's people coming from the other side as well. Everyone's trying to get off because it's raining, which, we found out later, the pool decks were stuffed with people on the outside. The rain chased everyone off, so now everyone was inside the ship. That's the first time this mega ship ever felt crowded to us, is when the rain outside forced people inside, but they still wanted to go to, like, the botanical garden pool or the hot tubs that are on the inside. That was packed pretty tight. Okay, here you see we're coming down that final set of stairs, going down the track to get disconnected, and then we'll take our harnesses off, and then we're done.
Thank you for keeping us safe up here.
Yes, if it starts raining, nobody can walk there. It's not
Oh,
safe.
no. You're doing good. Thank you.